Arizona football fans, sports fans of any of the athletics, you run to Zona Zealots, you lock in on that, make it one of your favorites, and join Shireen and the rest of the crew right there. If you love college football, you got to subscribe to Mark Rogers TV, the voice of college football. And the audio you can catch on Google Play, Stitcher, Podbean, and iTunes as well. So your old buddy Brandon Dawkins, who of course lost his job forever at Arizona once he got hurt, and Khalil Tate took one snap and went off to the races against Utah, Colorado. It was one of those two teams.
Yeah, I think it was Colorado. Yeah.
It was against Colorado for 327 yards. I don't know why I remember that. Brandon Dawkins, though, capable quarterback, drawing interest for the likes from Florida Atlantic, which you wouldn't think that they would be in the mix, but there was one Lane Kiffin coaching them.
Oh, okay.
Nebraska, Indiana, UCLA, all in the mix, and maybe some other teams for Brandon Dawkins. What are your thoughts about Brandon Dawkins?
So I love Brandon's game. He is very exciting. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've cheered him on, say, at home, go Brandon, go, wherever I am, go Brandon, go. He's a rushing quarterback who's worked really hard to improve. And I think he just wants a fresh start. I mean, last year had to be very hard for him, and Wildcats fans, adore him, but it was hard, to have, Khalil step in there and just run all over the place. So Brandon, Lane Kiffin had to coach against Brandon Dawkins. So Lane Kiffin knows his potential. So I'm not surprised by that, number one. And you had mentioned UCLA. Now that's very interesting because Brandon's had, got to watch UCLA his whole career. So he understands it's a whole new coach, so Chip Kelly, but he's also played in games where Chip Kelly was a coach on the other side. So, I mean, it's kind of, I don't know, it's a word with N. Everybody knows each other, so I wouldn't be surprised if that was a possibility for him. But I think there was a guy who decommitted from Arizona who is their starting quarterback towards the end of the season at UCLA. So he'd be battling against him.
Yeah, so Devin Monster was the kid who jumped in, late in the season when Josh Rosen was injured. He played the bowl game, played a pretty good game against Kansas State. Matt Lynch also there at UCLA, KJ Carter-Samuels, who had vied for the quarterback job actually at Washington with Jake Browning at the time. He's at UCLA. So a lot of guys that have some experience and done some good things, but not great deals of experience. So Brandon Dawkins, if he went to UCLA, would have a fighter's chance at gaining the starting job, and you may see him next season.
Yeah, I mean, and being in Southern California, he's from Hawaii, so you would think he'd want to stay close to the West Coast for family, friends, and other things. I mean, Nebraska's not too far in. Florida's on the way other coast. So, but I mean, I don't know if that factors in. I know he doesn't want to give up on his career, and we wish him the best wherever he is. If we play him and if we play against him at UCLA, it's a big rivalry. We always want to win that game. So it would make for interesting fodder, to say the least. Now, Chip Kelly, he went and drafted Nick Foles when he was at the Philadelphia Eagles. So he likes passing quarterbacks. So I don't know if Brandon's necessarily that guy, but maybe he's changed his way and wants, more dual threat. And Brandon's definitely that. And he can run the ball. He can run the ball. You got to be scared when he has the ball and he breaks free, because he has run a lot of yardage. I think it was 2 years ago he had the most yardage of any quarterback in the Pac-12, even though we had a 3-9 season.